Hi everyone, this is Heather Lawtonen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 385, and if you include your digital files with your coverage, wedding, portrait, or otherwise, then this video is for you. My friend Wiley asked me for information on what I include in my contracts. So I have all of my contracts available for purchase. I will post that link below, but today I just want to talk about the terms and conditions that I have in my digital release contract, and I have it here in front of me. So I want to go over these with you so that you can protect yourself. And remember, the purpose of a contract is to protect you and your client. So it's a mutual thing. Okay, I acknowledge that by accepting the digital files from my event, that number one, I understand that the image quality from a given file can vary widely in color, contrast, and overall quality depending on where and how a print is made, and that digital files may need separate color correction depending on the method of output. I agree to not hold Weddings by Heather responsible for any quality issues that arise from further prints, scans, or other reproductions made from this set of images. It is highly recommended to use mpix.com for reproductions, as Weddings by Heather is color calibrated with this photo lab. So essentially what I'm saying is, if you choose to take your USB drive to Walmart, I can't be responsible if the prints look terrible. That's what I'm saying here. I am personally color corrected with mpix, so I have no problem with my clients going there with their files, so I put that in my contract. Number two, I hereby grant Weddings by Heather the right to use and publish photographs taken at my event to further promote her services, including portfolio, website display, advertisement, and editorial use. That actually should say including but not limited to, because I want to be able to do whatever I want with these files. Now, sometimes you will have a client that reads that and says they're not comfortable with that because they don't want their images all over social media. It's happened maybe twice in my entire career, at which point I signed it with my initials. I said no problem at all. We negated that part of the contract and we moved forward. I have no problem doing that at all. If a client wishes to have privacy, I will absolutely respect that. Okay, number three, I explain, I'm not going to read all of these to you because it'll be too much, but I explain that there are two versions of the files included. They are the printable and then the social media ready, and it says, files uploaded to the internet for personal use must retain the Weddings by Heather watermark. Removing or cropping the watermark will be considered a violation of this agreement. Okay, have people done that, cropped it, or uploaded the high res instead of the low res with my name on it? Yep, they have. And what have I done? Absolutely nothing. You just move on. I don't think people are doing it with any malicious intent. They're just not thinking. They don't understand that that's how we get business. It's not their job to understand that. It's my job to clearly communicate it. But ultimately, if they do something like that, what am I going to do? Take legal action because they uploaded the wrong files? You have to ask yourself in situations like that, what is my desired outcome? And if you can't come up with a good reason to say to them, hey, you uploaded the wrong files, then just shut your mouth. There's no point in it. It doesn't make any sense. So I just move on. It's happened, so what? Missed opportunity, who cares? It doesn't hurt your business. You can relax. Okay, number four, I understand that the acceptance of these files includes the right to make unlimited reproductions for personal use only. I understand that Weddings by Heather retains the copyright to these images, and I agree not to offer these images or the use of these images for resale or commercial use. Essentially, this says, hey, you can do whatever you want with your files, you just can't sell them because I own them, I own the copyright, and if somebody wishes to purchase them, then they need to come to me. And that actually has happened because I have sold the copyright to HP. I've talked about that in a previous video. I've also talked extensively about copyright, and whoever takes the photos owns the copyright unless it is stated otherwise in a contract. Okay, number five says, my acceptance of these files releases Weddings by Heather. I love this. It's probably my favorite out of all of these. Releases Weddings by Heather from any liability due to loss or damage of the photographs or original files, and also releases Weddings by Heather from any obligation to maintain copies of any digital file or photograph. And then in bold, italic bold, it says, it is highly recommended that the client maintain a backup copy of these files. And then I sign it and they sign it. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to be liable if they lose their images. Okay, here's the truth. 15 years of weddings, I still have everyone's wedding. I have them backed up. I have them in my home. If someone lost or misplaced their files, I could replace them, but I'm not legally required to do so. So if for some reason something happened with my backup system or I was not able to get those files off of the drives, I am legally covered because in this contract it says that I am released from maintaining a copy of any digital file or photograph. So I would recommend that if you include the digital files, you have some type of an agreement with your client. And if you're lazy and you don't wish to do this, then the one thing I would say is the most important is that you have to have a release, a model release that says you are allowed to use those photos on social media and your website. That's where it can get a little bit touchy. So if nothing else, make sure you get something like that from your client. Now you can have a digital contract, you can have terms and conditions on your website where they check mark the box stating that they understand the terms and conditions. Just do something. Doing nothing is really not an option because you put yourself in great peril if you don't at least have some type of an agreement with your client. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.